How are you guys doing? I feel like it's been a while since we've talked. Sorry, I got distracted by a bird. We're 12 seconds in and I'm already distracted. Hi! Well, I feel like it's been a really long time since we've had like a sit-down talk, and to be honest with you, I've been meaning to chat with you guys like every day. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm gonna do this and film and talk about this with you guys, or I'm gonna do this and la la la, and you know, those weeks where, well, it's like a cycle. It's like this ramp up crash cycle, and for the longest time I couldn't tell if it was hormonal for me or if it was a pain cycle where, like, oh, my pain is slightly relieved and I have energy, so I'm gonna just work, and then crash for long periods of time. So it might be like I might have 2 really great days in a row and then I will crash. So not very many of you have probably seen the birthday video because it was so long. And honestly, it was really 2 days, and maybe it would have been wise for me to split it into 2 20-minute videos, because it's 40 minutes. Come on. So, but it was a lot. It really took a lot out of me, and that's just life. I guess I'm done with the whole, well, you should have done this, and maybe you should have done that, and la la la. And yes, we need to be reflectful. Oh my goodness. I am so tired, like words aren't even making sense. Reflective. Oh, I have no idea what I was even trying to say. This is embarrassing. Well, welcome to my mind, guys. It's been a long day. We had an appointment today. Just looking into some future stuff that we're working on, and it was hopeful, and we went out to lunch at New Seasons after our appointment, and we met the coolest guy named Charlie, and I'm super pissed that we didn't get his information because he was so awesome to talk to, and we really enjoyed it. And it was kind of funny because, I mean, yes, I had BB, so obviously, and I was shuffling really bad because I threw my back out this morning. So not only am I having functional weakness where my legs are giving out intermittently and I can't walk properly, but I've been having like ridiculous pain today where I can barely lift my feet off the ground. I'm having severe nerve pain and sciatic issues today because of it. But we were like eating lunch and talking to Charlie, and just like we're old friends, and then all of a sudden from the distance this woman's phone or something hit a reflection and just totally triggered me, like, and it was so, well, I don't know why, but I don't find it embarrassing anymore. It was it was funny because all of a sudden I was like stuttering and shaking, and I was like, oh, and I do apologize for it, and not that I'm sorry, like, oh, public people shouldn't have to witness such things. It's not that kind of sorry. It's like, oh, hi. I was like, oh, I'm sorry. I have some neurological issues. And he goes, really? Wow. And so then you just kind of feel obligated to explain at this point, because like we're sitting here talking for like 20 minutes and then all of a sudden I'm like shaking and stuttering and it's so ridiculous. It's ridiculous, but it was a good day. My point is, it was a good day. We enjoyed, looking up and chatting with people in a different community, and hopefully one day we'll see Charlie again, because we talked about a lot of cool things. He said that I was a warrior, and that was really cool. I don't feel like a warrior, except the fact that each day is a grind and a battle, and by God's grace, He sees me through it. He sees us all through it. And so in a sense, I feel like a warrior, but like I had a chance to catch up with an old friend, and they said that I was brave, and I was like, what other choice is there? It's not like it's really optional. We just have to keep going forward. And so you can call it brave or warrior. I don't really see it as any other option. But so yeah, that whole cycle, that whole ramp up cycle, do you get that? I'm so curious if I'm sure I'm not the only one. And I know that different conditions can cause that. I know people who struggle with bipolar disorder can have those up and down cycles. But I feel like I too struggle with, and it's not necessarily, I'm sorry, I just got my hair done and I have a lot of product in it today, and so I'm like, argh. But so yeah, I know a lot of different things can cause those kinds of cycles, but I've always been hard pressed to kind of put my finger on what exactly is causing mine. But I'm definitely, I would say, since Saturday was my birthday, and I obviously way outdid just being up and about and visiting, but I don't regret it because I'm definitely of the philosophy of living life. But the downside is that this week I'm on, like, it's already Friday tomorrow. I have been completely useless this week, and so completely exhausted. And yes, I'm sure that my birthday had something to do with it, but it's also a normal cycle where I will have like a week where I'm relatively more what's the word I'm looking for? I wanted to say profitable, but that's not what I mean. Productive. I'm more productive. But productive means like I went grocery shopping and I didn't die. Or I managed to wash laundry and dry it and throw it on a couch. You know, like not like normal people accomplishments, but like me accomplishments. And then I'll feel like I have a week where I'm relatively able to do the bare minimum, and then like I'll have 2 weeks, or I don't know. I'm not sure exactly how the pattern goes because each day is so weird and bizarre that it's hard to keep track anymore. But it's definitely a cycle where I've been in a down cycle as far as fatigue, and I'm just like a complete exhausted mess for like, this is my 5th day of like, we like to say it's like I hit the wall, you know? And like I said, I know that can be a pain, that just that natural cycle of chronic illness that you kind of just hit an upswing and you're able to kind of fight out a little bit more. But I also am learning to go with it and not be like hard on myself. Like the house kind of slipped a bit. Like our friend Natalie came and really helped us pull some things together, and it's really looking orderly and tidy. But then the last 5 days, I'm seeing like, oh, okay, I see why things get kind of messy, because I literally am like useless. So how about you? Tell me down below, because I'm wondering if you too, and maybe you're here because you have another chronic disability that's not the same, but you also are just a fighter. I met a lady today at New Seasons, and I can't remember the context. Oh, I mentioned something about, I was in the deli, and I was like, oh, normally I make my foods from scratch, but I'm so thankful to find your guys' delicious salads and stuff, because sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. And the lady next to me was like, yes, that is good salad, and I'm disabled too, and you know, we just discussed, you know, being thankful for the ability to get delicious, healthy food. And I don't shop there very often. I was in Lake Oswego. She probably thought that I was like, that we had like triple the income we do. But the point is, we were thankful just for that. And it was weird. It's like when you meet people that have disabilities, like a lady that cut my hair lives on my street, and she's trying to make money because she's going through chemo and can't work. So I was like, what the heck? I normally cut my own hair. I might as well support her, right? So you just have like this bond with people that have invisible disabilities or chronic disabilities. And so surely all of us likely could have those ups and down cycles, right? And so how do you prepare for them? I'm trying to prepare better by having some prepped meals in the freezer to pull out when I am having down days. I'm thinking about making like some contingency lists of like when I'm having like those days, like kind of like your absolute must do part of your list, and then also like if the world was perfect I would get this done, and then that way if there's something that was like, oh, I really needed to pay that bill and I totally slacked off, either you could have a friend come over and be like, hey, can you like hold my hand because I can't cognitively like work through normal administrative processes, and see if they can help you get through it, or if you have a partner or spouse or a child or somebody that can help you, or just, you know, I think that each one of us can sense what in those senses what the best choices for ourselves are. But I guess I would say don't beat yourself up when one day you can do things and the next day that you can't, and don't be surprised by that, and just kind of go with the flow, because it only adds to stress and hardship if we're constantly getting on our case for stuff that we don't have any control over. But kind of learning to adapt and find a new way of just kind of rolling with the punches, huh? So I'm definitely super in need of a cup of tea, and it's like I could totally go to sleep right now. It's a little too early though. It's like 8 p.m. So yeah, it's been a lovely, gorgeous, fabulous day, even though I've had like the worst pain in some senses, like the worst low back issue I've had in like, I don't know, a year. But oh well, you're not going to remember when you look back, when you have good memories, you're not going to remember how much pain I was in that day. It's going to be like, hey, remember that one time that we met Charlie at New Seasons, and we met that other lady, and we did this thing, and it was so funny that we were so on the other side of town and missed all the bad traffic because we wound through all these side streets, and it was great, wasn't it? That's what you're going to remember. You're not going to be like, remember how bad my piriformis, my gluteal region was, and how many times my right leg gave out when we were walking from New Seasons to the car. I mean, wasn't that crazy? That's not going to be how it is. For those of you that have had a child, that have given, lots of us have had children that have not physically birthed them, so I didn't mean that. But for those that have given birth to a child, you know how, in a sense, the pain is a distant memory. It's almost like a grace from God that, like, that part of it fades in a sense. It's like it's there, but it's foggy, and I don't know. I think it's just kind of reprogramming our minds to remember, like, we can still be happy and have a great time even though our bodies might be less than fabulous. But guess what? I'm going to say goodbye now because the last few videos have just been freakishly long. So we'll stop that today. Can't promise next time, but this time for sure. And maybe this weekend Darren and I can get together and have a chit chat with you guys. Yeah, I hope you are having a good week. Despite your physical circumstance, I hope that you're still living life. I got some new hobbies for my birthday. I can't wait to share with you. It's actually a hobby, but a lot of pieces. So next time maybe I can show you this stuff once I get it all unwrapped. But let me know down below if you too deal with those really crazy cycles of ups and downs of energy and crashing and ability and inability. And let me know what you guys are planning for this weekend. Anything fun that you're looking forward to. Okay, talk to you later. Excuse me. Don't forget to hit the like button down below, the thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, and also subscribe. We're still short of 100, and that's okay because it will grow as it should. Thank you Blah, 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 blah. We're thankful for those of you that are here. We'll talk to you later. Good night.